Okay, so we will have, as Ankit has rightly pointed out, that is today is probably the last session of this 8 days or 2 week NEP orientation and sensitization program. So we'll be touching upon one important dimension of NEP 2020, that is the integration of ICT into teaching, learning, evaluation, and so on. Right. But what has happened, that is, if you look at the scenario, probably last few years down the line, earlier we used to call somebody as illiterate if he is not a computer literate. But I will extend that definition. Okay, and let's say if you are not a AI literate, you will be considered as a illiterate. So what I'm trying to emphasize is, maybe it is a bold statement. Okay, some of you may agree or some of
सर
you may not. So,
सर
yes, sir.
एक
Yes,
पॉसिबल
sir.
वॉल्यूम थोड़ा सा
अच्छा,
बढ़ाना
वॉल्यूम
पड़ेगा
वॉल्यूम बढ़ाना
हाँ
पड़ेगा। जी 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 जी। अभी ठीक है सर, वेदर यू कैन
अभी
हियर मी?
ठीक यस
ओके,
ठीक है
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू,
यस
थैंक यू सर जी. So, as I said, we will be looking upon very important dimension of this NEP 2020, that is integration of technology into teaching, learning, assessment, and so on. So I'll be with you for approximately 3 hours or so. Okay, but I know it's very challenging for a teacher to engage 3 hours duration. For us, it is a routine, right? So you must have seen that other sessions as well. Okay, one single speaker normally they used to cover the entire 3 hours. Okay, so having said this, as I said, that is, I was talking about the AI and all. Okay, so we will have two component of this particular session. In the first part, we will talk about, rather we will have a cursory look at what this AI is all about, how this technology has evolved, and how it is going to impact our teaching, learning, evaluation, and research. Okay, so in the second session, probably I will demonstrate. Okay, I will demonstrate some of the tools uh, for teaching, learning, evaluation, and research. Okay, particularly AI based tool. Okay, so this is how the entire session has been organized. Okay, so just allow me to share my presentation. Karche sir is Principal Karche sir is very much there in this session. So definitely we will have at the end some sort of maybe feedback for the entire session and so on. Right now, having said this, just allow me to share my entire presentation. I hope my slides are visible to you. The slides are visible to you. Any one of you have to just confirm.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Right, and the slides are changing if I'm not wrong. Right, right. The slides are changing. Yes, yes or no. Simply say yes or
Yes. Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir, visible.
Thank you very much. So this is what we are going to look into detail as far as these 3 hours are concerned. Okay, the very first part is, as I said, we will build some theoretical foundation to understand. I know you are all from engineering technology background, but still, I'll make this deliberation as simple as possible, right? Because there are people from other discipline as well. Okay, so we'll have some foundation wherein we'll just try to understand and digest this technology, that is AI, ICT in general, and AI in particular. Right. So having said this, this is what is there on the agenda. That is, we will start from scratch. That is, what is AI? What are intelligent system? Okay, and how to build intelligent system? Right. What are the peculiar characteristics that an intelligent system must have? Okay, then we'll just have a cursory look at what is soft computing, what are the constituents of soft computing, how it is different from your traditional approach of solving problems using computers, and gradually we'll move ahead to certain terminologies. Okay, there are few terminologies which are typically tossed in this domain. What they call it as the deep learning, machine learning. So we'll go through, we'll have a cursory look, we'll not go in detail. And at the end, probably we'll discuss some problems associated with this technology. Just like any other technology, this technology, once again, it suffers from certain problems. So we will not talk on all the dimension, but definitely we'll just try to have a look at a specific problem, what they call it as the black box problem in AI. Okay, and what are the consequences of this black box problem? Okay, and at the end we will just try to explore what are the solutions available to this black box problem in particular. Now, having said this, before I begin, I would love to interact with you. Okay, because if you look at the, you can say the implementation strategy of this entire training program, it is basically expected that the participant should get involved in the discussion. Okay, because I personally feel that again, as far as this technology is concerned, some of you may argue, "Ki, sir, it is killing our what should I say, the creativity, innovation, okay, learning capabilities of the student and so on." So we'll touch upon all those dimensions as well. How to safeguard ourselves, okay, how to keep ourselves intact from all those challenges. We'll definitely touch upon those dimensions as well. But we will, as I said, we will start from scratch. So we need to understand what this technology is, how it has evolved, whether it is completely new or it was there since long back. Okay, so we'll just dig upon some historical perspective as well. Right. So having said this, what is AI? What is your perception about AI? Any one of you? Those who are from computer science, definitely they may find some 10, 15 minutes stuff little bit very fundamental, but you have to bear with me because it is essentially needed. Okay. So what do you feel? What is AI? How you will define AI, or what is AI in general? What is your perception about AI? Any one of you? Hello. I hope you people are with me and you have every right to unmute yourself. Nitin Kharche sir probably is there in the session, if I am not wrong, right? Or anybody else who wish to attend. So what is AI? What is your perception? Uh, yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Yes,
sir,
sir. Yes, sir.
myself, Professor Ashish Hatardar,
Please, please.
Dr. V.V. Kulti College of Engineering,
Yes.
Department of Applied Science. AI means, sir, ability of machine.
Ability of machine to, sir, you are not, your voice, I don't know whether some problem. Okay, ability of machine to
Think
act
and
and,
learn.
okay, okay, learning capability you are talking about. Anyway,
Uh,
we will touch upon all those things. Okay, as you have rightly pointed out, sir, it is nothing but the study of mechanism that think and act like human. Or to put it in simple word, it is mimicking human behavior. Now, what is so special about human behavior? Okay, the next question arises, what is so special about human behavior? We need to understand. So, what we are trying to do is we are trying to embed these learning capabilities, thinking capabilities, decision making capabilities into a machine. Okay, and some way or the other, we are converting an ordinary machine or a dumb machine to an intelligent machine, right? So, mimicking human behavior or making computers to think and act like human is nothing but the what we used to call it as the artificial intelligence technology. So at one end we have got human intelligence, and at the other end we have got artificial intelligence. Right. Now, having said this, we need to understand, let's say, if you simply look around, okay, most of the manufacturers of the you can say the electronic machines or the gadgets installed at your home or maybe in office, they claim that they are now whatever gadget you are using, they are all intelligent, right, some way or the other. Maybe if you look at for example the washing machine, okay, or maybe the air conditioner installed, okay, the manufacturers claim that it is intelligent. Okay, how intelligence has been incorporated into these gadgets or these machines? The answer is pretty simple. That is by incorporating these four peculiar characteristics. Okay, now how to embed it, that we'll see, okay, with the help of certain examples. Okay, so the very first one is what they call it is the intelligence itself. Okay, intelligence meaning thereby system must perform some meaningful operation. Okay, then they must be capable of interpreting information, just like you and I, we are capable of interpreting information. On the similar line, these intelligent systems, they are capable of interpreting information. Third peculiar characteristic is the comprehending the relation between the phenomena or object. Let's say if I give you the relationship between X and Y and Z, so you can very well deduce the relationship between X and Z, right? Okay. So on the similar line, these systems are capable of comprehension, right? Last but not the least is these systems can be trained in a particular domain. Okay. And once you train them, they are capable of taking decision based on the data, whatever has been used for training purposes. So I'll give you a simple analogy. Okay, let's say for example, whenever you want to learn how to drive a car, okay, most of the time the driving school people or the trainer normally takes you to either on highway or maybe in on a playground. Okay, but in the real life scenario, you will not face that kind of a scenario all the time. Let's say if you are in a downtown kind of a condition, okay, wherein you are facing huge traffic. So what do you do? Whether you call your trainer and ask what to do next, or you apply whatever knowledge you have acquired during training to this new condition. So definitely we go for the second option. So we as a human being, we are capable of doing all these things, right? Because you or I, we can be trained in a particular domain, and once we are trained, we are capable of taking our own decision. That decision, again, it may be right or wrong. Okay, so on the similar line, these systems, they are capable of taking decision. Again, those decisions are subject to right or wrong, right? So let's say if we are able to embed these four characteristics into a machine, we can call that machine or that gadget as an intelligent gadget. Okay. Say for the sake of example, okay, if you look at the functioning of a washing machine, okay, most of the manufacturer, they claim that they have got fuzzy enabled washing machine. So what is this fuzzy and all, right? So it is nothing but the AI. Okay, it is nothing but the AI. So in case of washing machine, what we are doing actually we are dealing with 3 or 4 parameters, and we do not have exact or precise value of those parameters. So what do we do? And let's say if you look at the washing mechanism typically used by a human being, again it is based on approximation. So while washing clothes with your own hand, what do? You simply look at the number of clothes, okay, then their type of clothes, and then you either mix hot or cold water, okay, depending upon the type of clothes, and then you mix some detergent and then you wash it. Okay. So on the similar line, in the fully automatic washing machine or intelligent washing machine, what is it? There is a small microcontroller chip, okay, costing 700, 800 rupees. And these 27, 30 odd rules are embedded into that chip. Okay. And whenever you switch on that machine, what it will do, it will take control of all the components installed into that electronic machine or gadget. Okay. And it will behave as if some human being is taking decision. So on the similar line, if you look at the air conditioner, same scenario is there. It goes on and off. Okay. Many times it goes into a sleep mode. Okay. When you are sleeping, there is no activity in your bedroom, something like that. So we have sensor based kind of an environment wherein the real time data is being acquired and the decisions are taken based on that, right? So having said this, artificial intelligence is simply incorporating these four characteristics into any machine. Okay, so now this definition you may extend to a program or a algorithm or a large language model and whatnot, right? Now we need to understand that how this technology has evolved and how it is different from the traditional approaches of solving problems using computers. So if you look at the historical perspective, there were two approaches. The very first approach was the mathematical modeling. Okay, so wherein we have precise value of the variables. Okay, and typically, if you look at the earlier AI-based systems, we used to call them as expert systems. So all these things, they were having some or the other problem associated with them. Okay, but what has happened? Okay, due to the evolution of this soft computing based approach or AI based approach, things have changed drastically, right? So it was a complete paradigm shift, the way in which we used to solve problems using computer. So there were two approaches. Rather, there are two approaches. The very first approach is what they call it as the hard computing approach. In that case, what do we do? Normally, we have precise values of the variables, exact value. Say, for example, a is equal to 3, b is equal to 2, and you go for a summation, c is equal to a plus b, meaning there are 3 plus 2, 5. Done. You have precise, exact value of the variables you are dealing with. But in case of AI-based approach, normally we do not have the precise value. Rather, we have approximate value. Now, if you look at the human decision-making process, we take all real-time decision based on approximation. I'll give you some analogies, and so you can digest the concept, how it is different from the traditional approach. So approximation meaning thereby you do not have precise value, you have imprecise value. As I've told you in case of washing machine, or let's say if you are driving a car or you are on a highway and you want to overtake a vehicle, long vehicle which is just in front of you. How do you take this decision? Whether you take this decision based on exact values of the space available to you, or you take decision based on approximation. So the most of the time we do not ask the other fellow to stop the vehicle, and then we measure the exact amount of space available, and then we push the accelerator. So what do? We take decision based on approximation. So you simply look around and you realize that you have sufficient space, and then you push the accelerator. Again, maybe possible that that decision is right or wrong. Okay, you may collide with some obstruction which is there in between. Okay, maybe on the sideline of the road. So what I'm trying to emphasize is our decision making process, that is human decision making process, is always based on approximation. Okay, and that is actually being exploited in this soft computing based approach or AI based approach. So even for a reasoning purpose, we use approximate reasoning. We do not use symbolic logic reasoning. Symbolic logic reasoning meaning thereby either something is true or something is false. Okay, we are all grown up with that concept, that is computers can understand only 0 and 1. Okay, but in case of soft computing, we are talking about the multivalent logic, that is 0 and 1 is included, but we are talking the various possibilities between this 0 and 1. So anything, maybe 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, and so on. Okay, we are talking about those possibilities. So in case of hard computing, we use precise model, we use bivalent logic, whereas in case of soft computing, we use approximate reasoning, approximate model, and multivalent logic, not bivalent logic. Okay. So, and again, if you look at the way in which the problems are being solved using this approach, it uses functional approximation and randomized search. So you need not have to search the entire database for taking a particular decision. So you will simply look upon the local data set and accordingly you take decisions. So this is how it is different. Okay. So hard computing and soft computing is altogether different. Now we need to understand the definition of this soft computing in a greater detail. So let us try to, earlier we have seen a layman's definition, which we used to call it as mimicking human behavior or acting or thinking like human and so on. Now, let us look at a very concrete and foolproof definition of this soft computing. What is it? It is the symbiotic use of many engineering problem solving disciplines. Meaning thereby, if you look at the this statement, okay, you can realize the power of, you can say, the AI-based approach or soft computing based approach. What is it? It is basically, you name the area, you can have applications of this particular technology. Okay, whether you are a lawyer or you are a chartered accountant or you are a medical professional, right? You must have heard about that nowadays the surgeries are being done using robots. Okay, robotic surgery. The human intervention is there. I am not denying the fact that the doctors will not be needed in the years to come. Okay, but it is being complemented. Okay, because you have precision, accuracy. There are numerous advantages. Okay, so that's why I'm saying it. You just look, just name the area, you will find the application of this technology is there. Now let us try to digest a foolproof definition of this soft computing, and it has been defined none other than by the father of soft computing, Professor Lutfi Alizadeh. Right? How he has defined soft computing. Look at the word. Look at the very first word. It is in contrast to traditional hard computing. In contrast, meaning thereby it is a paradigm shift. It is a 360-degree shift. Okay, earlier approaches are categorically being denied by this technology, right? That is the beauty of it. Okay, soft computing exploits the tolerance for imprecision. Now look at these are the dimensions, right? Imprecise knowledge. Okay, you do not have precise knowledge, but still you are taking decision. Imprecision, uncertainty, and partial truth. What does this mean? You do not have exact you can say in case of washing machine, you do not have exact number of clothes. Okay, it is you are simply look at the bundle of the clothes and then you take decision how much detergent is to be mixed. So accordingly same thing is happening here. Okay, what kind of washing mechanism is to be applied? Okay, that is again right or wrong. Okay, I'm not saying that it is all the time so again I underline this word, that is over reliant on this technology is again highly dangerous. We will explore those dimensions as well in the discussion, probably in the second half. Okay, so imprecision, uncertainty, and partial truth. Now, this partial truth we need to understand. Partial truth meaning thereby nothing in the word is 100% true or 100% false. It is true to the degree of some truthfulness. I'll give you the example of age. Let's say if you are using a traditional approach and you are categorizing the persons based on their age as 0 to 30, okay, 0 to 30 young, 30 to 40 middle age, and 40 plus as a old guy. Okay, let us assume that a person has just crossed 30 years and 1 month, or rather 30 years and 3 days. Okay, now whether you will call that person as a middle-aged person. Okay, if you are using a traditional approach, you need to declare because we have hard boundaries in that case. But in case of soft computing, okay, we do not have hard boundaries. What we will do, we will draw a perpendicular on both the axes and we will declare that fellow as a either maybe 90% young and maybe 10% middle age. Okay, and that would be the right proposition of describing the age of that person who has just crossed 30. Okay, so we do not have hard boundaries in this case. Okay, we do not have hard boundaries. That is the you can say the one of the basic point of departure from the conventional approach. Okay, so it is partial truth. And what is the advantage of having these kind of a setup is whatever solution you design, they are tractable, robust, low cost, as I have already referred to. That is the cost of converting semi-automatic machine to a fully automatic machine is $1,000, right? So low cost solution and better report with reality. Okay, better report with reality. So this is a foolproof definition of you can say soft computing. Okay, which has been defined by the father of soft computing, Professor Lutfi Alizadeh. Now there are four constituents. Okay, four pillars you may say. Okay, four pillars of this technology. Okay, mimicking human linguistic reasoning, that is the bottom line. But what are the four pillars? The very first pillar is what they call it as the fuzzy systems. Second one is the neural networks. Third one is the evolutionary computing, and the fourth one is the probabilistic reasoning. Now, each one of them, they are good in some or the other area. Okay, so say they have got their strength and weaknesses as well, right? Let's say if you are dealing with imprecise knowledge, okay, fuzzy systems are fantastic in that. Okay, so if you are dealing with imprecision, you can pick fuzzy logic for solving that problem, right? Neural networks are capable of learning. Okay, if you want to train or you want to make machines think like human, okay, definitely you need to train them. So for training purpose or learning purpose, neural networks has got that capability. Evolutionary computing, when you are dealing with uncertainty, right? When you are dealing with uncertainty, the world is full of uncertainties, right? So if you are facing that kind of a problem, you may pick probabilistic reasoning or uncertainty as the solution for that. Fourth one is the evolutionary computing, wherein you have genetic algorithms, you have ant colony optimization, biologically inspired algorithms, okay, which are typically used for optimization purpose. Now, you may have scenarios wherein you may require only one is not sufficient for solving that problem. So in that case, you may have a hybrid combination of any of these two or three, okay, depending upon your requirement. Okay, like say neuro fuzzy or fuzzy neuro, or maybe evolutionary computing fuzzy systems, that is again possible. So that all depends what kind of problem you are dealing with. Right. Now, having said this, we will just try to understand one simple concept, okay, with regard to this technology, okay, and that is very much relevant to our second session deliberation, wherein I will be talking about Gen AI tools and so on, right? So most of the time, whenever we talk about computing, the very first things comes to our mind is that we are dealing with numbers, okay. So is it possible to compute with words? Okay, so computing with word, is it possible? Let us try to diagnose this problem, and let us try to understand this, whether it is possible to compute with words or not. Okay, so computing with words, we are trying to understand with the help of a pretty simple example. Okay, let us assume that I'm giving you some facts or some proposition with regard to a lady called Rekha. Okay, first proposition about the lady under consideration is she has a son in mid-20s, and the second is she has a daughter in mid-30s. Okay, these are the two propositions. Okay, I'm giving you an English-like statement. Okay, now we intend to compute Rekha's age. Okay, and the third one is the world knowledge, which is known to almost every one of us. That is usually the you can say the mother's age at birth is between 20 or asterisk 20 for short, or 40 or asterisk 40 for short. Now, this is an open-ended question, and here I would love to hear your responses, right? So, what do you feel? What is your take on this? Whether it is possible to compute Rekha's age having this much information? If yes, how and what is her age? Hello, I hope you are with me. Again, the basic objective behind asking this question is not to check your knowledge or your intelligence or IQ, is to simply get you involved in the discussion. Okay, so what do you feel? What is Rekha's age under this? Hello, I feel that all of you are with me and we are connected, whether we are connected or not, first of all.
Yes.
Yes. What do you feel? What is your take? Any one of you? Okay, what do you feel? It is possible to solve. Okay. Now, I'm not asking that is how to solve it with the help of a computer. Okay, that is the second part of it. But the initially, let's say whether you can apply some logic and you can very well arrive at some figure. If yes, what is our age? I hope all of you are with me. The meeting is being attended by probably around 55, 60. Oh, great number, right? So there are many people in the meeting, right? So anyway, if you have decided that you will not respond, then no issue, or whatever may be the reason, right? Let us try to solve this with the help of, you can say, the soft computing approach. Okay, what we need to do is we need to translate these English-like statement into what they call it as the computation-ready word. Okay, because whenever we are talking about computation, we have to have numbers. Let's say if we do not have numbers, how we will compute? Okay, add, multiply, divide, whatever you intend to do. In this case, you will add up, maybe have a combination of the statement, whatever has been written. But we need to have numbers. Unfortunately, we are not having numbers in this case. I am not giving you uh, any numbers. If you look at the statement that she has a son in mid-20s and she has a daughter in mid-30s. So from these two statements, you may convert these propositions into what they call it as the computation ready word. And that is basically called as a small process, which is called as appreciation. Okay. So we will precede these statements P1, P2, and P3 as she has a son in mid-20s, meaning thereby age son is asterisk 25. Mid-20s meaning thereby asterisk 25. Right. So age son is asterisk 25. What I am doing, I am translating that P1 into P1 star. Okay. Similarly, we will go for P2 into P2 star. So age daughter is asterisk 35 on the similar line. And the third proposition, which is a word knowledge, you may come up with like this, that is plus P3 star, age mother at birth is usually between 20 and 40, that you can represent at asterisk 20, comma, asterisk 40. So what we did, we have translated, okay, we have translated rather preceded, okay, instead of using translation, we call it as a small operation called as preciation. That is translating English-like statement into computation-ready word. Okay, now let's say you want to compute Rekha's age in this case. So age Rekha is asterisk 25 plus usually asterisk 20, comma, asterisk 40 fusion asterisk 35, usually asterisk 20, comma, asterisk 40. What value you will arrive at? Her age is, to be very specific, any answer, any guess? To be very precise, 55. To be very precise, 55. Because if you look at the age daughter is asterisk 35 and the age of the mother at birth of a child is between 20 and 40. Okay. So 20 plus 35 comes out to be 55. So her age is, this is right. We are drawing some inferences and so on. So what I'm trying to emphasize is it is possible to compute with words. And this concept was given way back in 1964 by none other than Professor Lutfi Ali Zadeh, okay, wherein he talked about this uh, computing with numbers to computing with words. Okay, so he has given a very fantastic paper. But again, there is a motivational story. Okay, some of you, those who are really keen, they can Google it. Okay, what has happened, that conference was basically, that session chair of that conference was one of the renowned system engineer, Rudolf Kalman. Those who are from electronics, they must be aware about this fellow. Okay, so he criticized Professor Zadeh's works like anything. Okay, there is a complete story behind it. Okay, he said, this fellow has gone mad, he's talking all rubbish, right? Something like that. But what has happened over a period of time, now we are witnessing there are thousands of applications coming up with this small concept. So you may extend this. I'll exactly show you. You just we will connect the dot when we'll discuss the Gen AI and all those things. That is, whatever prompt you type, okay, you type in English. How it is being processed by computer, right? So there are 4 5 steps. Okay, we'll talk about all those things later on. But you need to remember that this is how it is. Okay, and this small concept has basically given birth to a lot of uh, solutions to a lot of problems. What we call it as the natural language or NLP, which is one complete area of this AI, right? So if you can model any real life problem using this concept, okay, you can very well address it. So there are numerous applications. There are applications like, say, problem solving using natural language systems, as I have told you. Decision analysis is another area. Chatbots, okay, which are very common nowadays. Okay, whenever you visit any website, you find some Siri or something like that appear, okay, and it asks you what exactly you want, and 80% of your queries are being addressed by these chatbots. We will definitely have a look at in the second session, wherein we will learn how to create your own chatbot, right? Again, those things are nowadays, they are on your fingertip. Okay, so we'll have a look at all those dimensions, okay, probably in the second session. But we need to understand this concept, that is computing with words. Again, there are different levels of this CW 0, 1 and 2. Right now we are in the era of 2. Okay, so 0 was the carriers of the informations were word. Okay, then numbers plus word, and so many things are there. So we'll not go into the details of those things, but let us move ahead with the second important component. Okay, second important component, if you just try to recall, it was neural networks. So again, we'll not go into the detail, but we need to understand what these structures are all about. Okay, what is their, you can say, power, okay, what kind of capabilities they possess, and so on, right? So these are once again small programs. Okay, they have got the learning capabilities, to be very precise. Okay, so the learning basically takes place with the help of these structures. Okay, what we used to call it as the neural network, right? So again, not new, very old story. I very well remember. I have undergone the very first training program on neural network way back in 1994 at JNTU Hyderabad. Right. So things are little bit you can say old, but the only thing is that what has happened due to the evolution of this hardware, we are having very high end machines, and that is making this possible, and that is why thousands of applications are being built on these structures. These structures were there, okay, since long, but there were problems with regard to hardware and the hardware efficiency and the capabilities, right? So neural networks are basically now we need to understand what is their power. Their power is they are capable of acquiring knowledge, okay, storing that knowledge, and not only knowledge acquisition and storing, okay, but using that knowledge or utilizing that knowledge for some experiential decision making, or maybe classification, or the whatever is the purpose, whatever for which you have designed that neural network. So knowledge acquisition, storing that knowledge, and that knowledge acquisition takes place in the learning phase. Okay, when you train it, okay, it will be stored in the weights. Okay, and once the training is done, okay, you may expose it to altogether new input. It will give you some or the other answer. So it will apply that knowledge for some decision making, right? So acquisition, storing, and utilization of knowledge, which is there in our case as a human being, same thing is being depicted by these neural networks. Okay, now you have a number of application areas, thousands of areas. This is again an indicative list. You name the area, whether you are from arts and humanities, or commerce and management, or law, or whatnot. Okay, you will find the application of neural networks are there, right? So they are basically inspired from biological neurons. Okay, small structure. Okay, in our brain we have millions of neurons. They are connected with each other. So on the similar line, these artificial neural networks have been built. Okay, so if you look at the artificial neuron, right, it is, as I said, it is biologically inspired neuron. So we do have some x1 and x2. These are the neurons, let's say. Okay, and with each neuron there is a weight associated, what they call it as the synaptic strength in case of biological neuron. So here that is being represented by the weights. So weights and the inputs, these are all matrices. What we are doing matrix manipulation, to put it in very simple words, right? And how it is being computed, this y is equal to simply summation of x1 w1 plus x2 w. Now in this case, since we have only one layer, it is called a single layer perceptron. Okay, all right. Then if you add up few more layer, it will be called as multi-layer perceptron. Okay, so information processing. Okay, neuron processes the information. Okay, signals are transmitted by means of connection link. Okay, with each link the signal is being transmitted, it is added up, and then it goes through some non-linearity, what we used to call it as the activation function and so on, right? Then the links possess an associated weight, okay, which is nothing but the synaptic strength of that particular neuron, and the output signal is obtained by applying activation function to the input. Okay, that is, there are again numerous possibilities. We'll not go into the details, but we need to know that it goes through some non-linearity. Sigmoidal is one of the best activation function, or some variant of sigmoidal is being used most of the time, but this is how it works, right? Now let us try to understand how it is being trained. Okay, what is a training cycle? Okay, so what do? We start with whatever values, okay, you have in the inputs, all right, and we start with some random weight, all right, and let us assume that you are starting with 0.5. As I said, any value between 0 to 1. So let us assume that we are taking a median, okay, and we are starting with exactly from 0.5 all the weight values, Okay. So in the first run, what do? We start with some random value of weights and then compute the output. Let us assume that you are expecting for this input, you are expecting 1.0 as the output. This is just for the sake of example, I am telling. Okay. But as a matter of fact, while going through first phase, what is happening is instead of getting 1, you are getting 0.7 as the answer. Meaning thereby there is an error of 1 minus 0.7, meaning thereby 0.3 is the error. So what do? In the next run, we simply increase the value of this 0.5, which was earlier 0.5 to let's say 0.6. That is, we are making it 0.1 addition. Okay, in all the weights values. Okay, and then again we observe the result. Okay. So in the second run, let us suppose you are getting the value as earlier you were getting 0.7 as the output. Now you are getting 0.8 as the output. Meaning thereby you are in the right direction. So what you need to do, you need to go on increasing the value of weight till you get the desired output. And what is the desired output in our case? It is 1.0. So we will stop training, okay, where we get the, you can say the minimum weight, minimum error, or we get the desired output. Okay. And again, it is not as simple as this, right? There are very many things involved. Okay. Many times you stuck up in some local minima. Okay. It is a bit difficult. So we need to add some constant. Okay. So as to come out of that local minima that is typically denoted by eta. And there are many things, right? Some constant is being used. Okay. That is also called as the bias, right? So anyway, so what I'm trying to emphasize here is this is how the training takes place. So this way you pass through all the samples, okay, all the inputs, and then you train it. Now, once you have trained it, meaning thereby the weights are normalized. Okay. Again, overtraining is dangerous. Okay, that will lead to another kind of a scenario. Okay, but we need to stop. And what is the stopping condition? That one has to remember. That is wherein the error is minimal or it is zero, ideally. Okay, you may not have that kind of a scenario all the time, but even if it is minimal, you may need to stop at that point of time. Now, this one cycle, okay, or one epoch. This is called as one cycle or one epoch. When you cycle through from input to the output layer, it is called as one epoch or one iteration. So you may set the value of these iteration as 500, 1000, depending upon your, you can say requirement, and then you go on experimenting with, right? So epoch or iteration, right? So this is a pretty simple way in which you can say understand the training or the learning capabilities of these neural networks. Then how they are organized, okay, that will determine the architecture. Okay, this is a single layer feed forward wherein you have one input and one output. This is multi-layer. Why I'm saying multi-layer? Because there are hidden layers in between. Again, you should not ask, sir, how many hidden layer you must have, or how many neuron in each layer you must have. That is all based on trial and error. Okay, there is no hard-coded rule for that. Right. Then you may have fully recurrent network, maybe competitive network, how it is being arranged. Okay. So basically we are dealing with 3 layers. The very first layer is the input layer. Second is the hidden layer. Third one is the output layer. Okay. So input layer is responsible for providing the inputs. Hidden layers are basically used for providing the non-linearities, and output layers are typically used for producing the final result or the output. Okay, these are the basic functionalities of these layers. Okay, then there are 3 categories of learning. Okay, we'll go a little bit fast. Okay, but we need to understand few things. Okay, so supervised is wherein you have input-output data pair. Okay, that is wherein the data sets are labeled. You know the input as well as the output. So that is called as a labeled data set. So if it is so, whatever approach you are using, it is the supervised training, wherein you provide input as well as output to the neural network. Let's say you know the input, but you do not know the output, then it is referred to as unsupervised training or unlabeled data. Third one is, which is very popular and which is being used exhaustively by all the large language model, okay, some or the other variant of this reinforcement, okay, is the reinforcement training. What is it exactly? It is basically learning through trial and error. Okay, Just like a small kid, whenever a small kid learn how to talk or how to walk, okay, he or she uses the reinforcement training strategy, right? So that is exactly being used here, right? So, and as I said, some variants of these reinforcement trainings are being used by all the large language model, whatever LLMs and Gen AI tools we are going to have a look at probably in the second session. Okay, they are using this reinforcement strategy for the training purpose. Now, we'll go a little fast by simply having a cursory look at certain terminologies caused in this domain. Deep learning is one of them. This has evolved from 2006 onwards. There are probably three architectures using this DL architecture is one of them is which you are using probably day and night, chat GPT and all. So generative deep architectures are there, then discriminative is there, and maybe hybrid, which is a combination of the earlier two, right? So there are different DL architectures. Why it is referred to as DL? The reason is pretty simple. They are so complex. There are thousands of layers, okay? And that is why the name deep learning, okay? There is no other reason. Machine learning, we have already seen how to train or how to learn, okay? So DL, under DL, you have millions of tools available for teaching, learning, and evaluation, right? So now let us try to understand one problem. Okay, so all the technologies, okay, has got just like there are two sides of a coin. On the similar line, this technology suffers from problems. Okay, and one of the biggest problem with this technology is what they call it as the black box problem in AI. Okay, what does this mean? This means simply, let's say whenever you interact with any LLM tool, what do? You write some prompt. Okay, you write some prompt. Okay, and while writing prompt, uh, and then it is being interpreted by the large language model, and it gives you some or the other answer. Now, whatever answers you are getting, okay, how that particular tool has arrived at that particular answer, that is not known to anybody. I underline the word anybody. Anybody meaning thereby, definitely we as a user, we don't know. Okay, but let's say if you ask the developer or the company who is involved in the development process, or let's say you go a little further, and if you look at the development team involved for the development of that tool, okay, even if you ask them, they will say, sorry, sir, we will not be in a position to give you the appropriate justification. Why it is so? Because the complexity is so high. Okay, complexity is so high that they are not in a position to justify how they arrived at a particular decision. Okay, so that is why this problem is referred to as what they call it as the black box problem in AI. Okay, so you provide some input to the AI system and you get some or the other output, maybe some decision or prediction, but how the tool has arrived at a particular decision or a prediction, that is not known to anybody in the world, right? And that is why it is referred to as a black box. You don't know what is happening within that box, right? And that is why it is referred to as a black box problem, right? So now we are using AI for, just now I have told you, okay, we are using AI for medical diagnosis. Okay, so if something goes wrong, it is giving you some wrong diagnosis, to whom you will held responsible. Whether you will sue the medical practitioner, or you will sue the, you can say, the developer of that tool, or the company, or the person who have been involved in the development. So we have lack of accountability, right? So we have lack of accountability with these tools, right? We do not have any right to sue anybody if something goes wrong. And let us assume that you are using these tools for some very critical application, like just now I have told you about medical diagnosis, or let's say if you are using it for uh, military purpose, okay, wherein you are using it for firing a missile to the enemy's target. And what is happening is the missile is hitting your own land. Now, to whom you will hold responsible for this, right? This wrong decision. Okay. So lack of accountability, then unpredictability. They are always unpredictable. Okay, that's why I'm saying over reliant on these tools is highly dangerous. Okay, so unpredictable answers. Okay, one run you may get something, and second run you may get altogether different things. So it is unpredictable. Okay, and so on. So their use, you have to use it with due diligence and care. Okay, you should not use it blindly. Okay, that is the cautionary warning as far as these tools are concerned. So the core issue is that black box AI makes it nearly impossible to fully trust or regulate decision. Okay, being made, especially when they affect human lives. Both the example, whatever I have cited, that is for medical application or maybe military application. Okay, there is threat to human lives. Okay, so you should not rely on these tools, right? So that is highly dangerous. That is highly dangerous. Now let us move further. Okay, I'll talk about the solution later on at the end of the session, but we need to understand. Now we are looking at from our teaching, learning, evaluation, and research perspective. So there is one complete category of tool, what they call it as the Gen AI tool, generative AI tool. Okay, so generative AI is basically a subset of AI. So whatever we have seen till now, it was a superset. Okay, it was a superset. Now we are referring to a subset, very small subset of that tool. Okay, and that is a generative AI. You just try to recall wherein we have talked about various generative and then discriminative and hybrid kind of a thing, right? So we are looking at only one category, that is the generative AI tool. Now look at the power of this subset. Even though it is a subset, what you can do with these tools, generative AI tools. Okay, ChatGPT is the best example, common example, right? These tools are capable of creating new original content, okay, such as images, text, or music. What does this mean? Creating, let's say I want to write a research paper. Okay, so what we can do, we may add some 10, 20 odd files, give it to the chat GPT or any LLM for that purpose, and ask that tool to generate a new research article for us. It is possible. Okay, it is possible. But whether you should use it for this kind of activity, the answer is a big no. Because if you are doing so, meaning thereby you are compromising on ethical front, which is not at all correct, right? You must have heard about, but they are capable. But these tools are capable of doing so, right? These tools are capable of doing so, creating new content, right? Original content. That's why I'm saying I underline the word creativity, right? Creativity. This attribute is normally associated with human intelligence. Okay. Not only that, images. Let's say you want to create MF Hussein's painting. Okay, whatever that MF Hussein used to create. Okay, so you give some example. I'll show you that is how to give examples. Okay, and then ask it to generate. Okay, so it will generate. Okay, you must have heard about the controversy with regard to a tool called Grok in the recent past, probably few days back. Okay, the Grok has now because people have misused it, I should say. Okay, they have misused it for creating images of maybe some international personalities, leaders, or something like that, and that has led to the company to take appropriate action. Okay, but these tools are capable, right? These tools are capable of doing so. And music, okay, let's say composing a music, A.R. Rahman's music, right, of a particular movie, is possible, right? So you give some sample, it will learn, and accordingly it will give you. Then you give the lyrics, okay, and it will compose the music for that particular song, right? It is very easily possible, but we need to define our own boundaries. Okay, say for example, we are from academics. Up to what extent we can use it for research, that I will show you. Okay, certain tools I will show you how to safeguard yourself. Okay, because whenever you interact with these tools, the biggest problem is another biggest problem is your prompt as well as the responses that is vulnerable in terms of security and privacy, right? So how to protect yourself, right? That is what we are going to look at in the probably in the second session. Right. Now, having said this, none of these tools are available free of cost. And what is the reason? The reason is on this slide. Okay, the training cost of these tools is very high. Okay, if you look at the training cost of GPT-3, it was 4.3 million US dollar. Okay, GPT-4, it was 78.4 million US dollar, and Gemini Ultra 191.4 million US dollar. Right. So since the training cost is tremendously high, none of these tools are available free of cost, but their demo version, what we used to call it as in general, or beta version, technically speaking, that is available free of cost. So most of the time we will be looking at the beta version, okay? But still, if you look at the beta version, you can do lot many things for research, teaching, learning, and so on. Right. Now, having said this, let us move ahead and just try to understand that is how it is different. As I said, AI is a superset, generative AI is a subset. But if you look at the capabilities, creativity and innovation is there in this Gen AI tool, even though it is a subset. Okay, so innovation, creativity, these are the buzzwords, right? And that is where the problem is. That is, it is becoming a challenge for us, right? Not for you or me, for the entire you can say the world community. Okay, it is posing challenge. There are nations wherein probably few days back I was going through Times of India, wherein France or some developed nation, they have banned use of these tools in their social media up to the age of 15 years. Okay, so that is again another area. Okay, in our country, as on date, we do not have any guideline from UGC or AICT, but probably by the end of this year, we will definitely have. Okay, because probably on 11, 12, 13, okay, there is a big event happening in national capital, Delhi. Okay, that is the AI event. Okay, and probably the government will come up with some regulation in this regard. That is how to regulate this. That is again important, right? But if you look at the, you can say the application areas, content creation, drug discovery, game design, simulation, text to image generation, you name the things, it is there, right? It is there. Now we need to understand that is how do these functions, these systems work, or these large language models or LLM works. Okay, what are their key characteristics? What precautions we need to take, right? How to set various parameters, right? Being a user, we need to know. So we should not know the how it has been developed, but as a user, it is definitely essential for us to understand their capabilities, okay, their features, okay, their basic functionalities, and so on. So these are the two important characteristics of these LLMs. Okay, now I'm not referring to any specific large language model. Okay, it can be applied uniformly to any LLM. Okay, whichever is available as on date. Okay, so these LLMs or large language models, they are capable of understanding the text. Okay, text understanding is one of the most important aspect. But how do they understand the text? Okay, so whatever prompt you type, okay, you type in terms of maybe in English like language. Okay, so those, let's say, sentences are converted into words. Each word will be considered as a token. Okay, so these tools are capable of processing words, sentences, and one step beyond, that is the context in which that question has been asked or that prompt has been designed. Okay, so this is normally we used to call it as in general terminology, we need to read between the lines, right? So these tools are capable of reading between the lines, whatever is the hidden agenda, right? What is the intention? What is the context in which this question has been asked? And accordingly, they generate responses. So it is not merely understanding, but generating the appropriate responses that these LLM generates, coherent, contextually relevant text based on the input queries, right? So making them powerful tools for a wide range of applications. Okay, there are millions of applications. Okay, but these are the two peculiar characteristics of these LLMs, right? Now, how do they function? Okay, in what way they access, they work? Okay, how do LLM works? Okay, we need to understand. So the very first part is the tokenization. Tokenization meaning thereby, uh, as I said, the sentences are composed of words. Okay, so each word will be considered as a token. Now, if you look at the licensing mechanism of these LLMs, it is many times it is either in terms of the duration, number of days, or it is in terms of tokens. Okay, so whenever you go for a subscription, okay, you will get a token size. Okay, so that's why you need to use these tokens with utmost care. Okay, so the input text, whatever question you have asked, whatever English-like statement you have written, it is broken down into tokens. Okay, and each token will be considered separately. Okay, now just look at the second important functionality. It is embedding. These tokens are then converted into numerical vectors representing their meaning. Now you may connect the dot. Okay, and that was the reason why I talked about computing with words specifically. Okay, in that case, what do? We convert those statements into computation ready numbers. Okay, that is what exactly we are doing. Okay, so this is how it is related. Okay, so these tokens are converted into numbers, okay, representing their meaning. All right, embedding, self-attention. Okay, this is another important attribute, okay, which is associated with human intelligence. So these models assesses which part of the text is most important. Let's say you are appearing in an examination. What do? Normally, you underline certain words which you feel are really important. Okay, you feel really are important. Okay, and then you tailor your answer to that particular query, okay, by let's say some explanation along with the justification. So you very well know out of 6 marks, let's say 6 marks weightage is given to this particular question, 4 mark is for explanation and 2 is for justification. Let's say if you forget the justification, you will not get those 2 marks. Okay, so on the similar line, these tools are capable of identifying the important words. Okay, and that is how they understand the context in which it has been asked. Prediction. Okay, it is not only you can say the understanding important word, rather the context in which it has been asked, it goes one step beyond. That is, it predicts. Okay, probably next question would be something like this. So they give you some ready-made prompts. Okay, I'll show you exactly that is how it works. Okay, so predictive capabilities are again there. And then at the end, they generate the response. Okay, based on the question, whatever you have asked. So these are the 5 steps in which these LLM works. Okay, now what is left in our hand? Okay, now we are left with one important thing, that is how to write precise or concise prompt. Okay, and one complete area of engineering has emerged, what they call it as the prompt engineering. So crafting precise input so as to get the desired or relevant responses. That is what is left in our hand as on date. Okay, so again, there are various prompting techniques. Okay, we will not go just try to understand all, but definitely we need to take few basic techniques because that is essential. Whenever you deal with these tools, okay, you need to know what are the various basic prompting techniques. So the very first prompting technique is what they call it as the zero-shot prompting. Zero-shot prompting meaning thereby, this is the way in most of the time, whenever you interact with these tools, okay, you fire a direct query to the prompt, okay, asking it to give the answer. Okay, let's say for example, what is artificial intelligence? Okay, or what is AI? Okay, and now you do not give any example. Okay, this is called a zero-shot prompting. Okay, let's say if you give one example, okay, and then ask the Gen AI tool to generate the response, it is called as one-shot prompting. If you give more than one example, okay, and ask the Gen AI tool to generate the response, it is called as few shot prompting. I'll give you what is the advantage of giving these examples. Okay, with the help of an analogy. Let us assume that you have started manufacturing a two-wheeler, okay, and you want to design a tagline for that particular motorcycle, okay, and you know your competitor is Hero Honda, okay, all right, you know your competitor is Hero Honda, and you know the product line of that Hero Honda, that is, let's say, fill it, forget it. I very well remember, right? I don't know right now what is the tagline, but this was one of the most popular tagline for Hero Honda motorcycles. So if you give this an example, this will help the LLM to carve the output, okay, and to understand what exactly you intend to ask, okay. Because if you look at the number of words, only 4 words are there. Fill it, forget it. And if you look at those words, they represent some peculiar characteristics of that particular product, maybe fuel efficiency or economy or whatever, right? So if you give this as an example and then ask the LLM to generate, what it will do, it will generate a tagline, not more than 4 words, and each word will depict some or the other characteristics of it, right? So this help a lot, okay, in terms of content generation, okay. If you give more than one, definitely it will use all of them, okay, and it will give you better responses and so on. So this is called as zero shot, one shot, and few shot prompting, okay. One shot and few shot prompting. There is one more, what they call it as the role prompting. What is it? Role prompting, meaning thereby you assign the AI a specific role. Let us assume that you are asking the tool to assume a role or a persona of a principal of an engineering college, or a vice chancellor of a state university, or a vice chancellor of a private university, right? So what it will do, and then you are asking so initially you are saying, assume you are a DSP or you are a district magistrate of a particular XYZ district, okay, and then you are asking the question. So what it will do, it will go through the let's say if it is Amravati University vice chancellor, it will go through all the ordinances, directions issued by Amravati University since inception as on date, and accordingly it will try to give you the appropriate answer. So you are confining your search to a specific purpose, okay, and whatever is expected from the jobs and duties of the, definitely it will go through the Maharashtra University Act 2016, or वहां से कुछ चीजें it will extract, okay, and then it will look at the role and responsibility of the vice chancellor, and accordingly it will mold the answer. So what I am trying to emphasize is, if you assign some role, the job of the you can say the LLM becomes more specific, and you get more tailored responses. Okay, you get more tailored responses. Okay, then there are chain of thought prompting, okay, wherein you may break down a task into a smaller one, okay, logical step, allowing the AI to reason through intermediate steps. Okay, that is chain of thought. Then meta prompting. Now, what you are doing, you are asking the LLM itself to generate prompts for you. But this requires more expert level of reasoning and sophisticated responses. Okay. There is one more, what they call it as a tree of thought, or TOT prompting, wherein it will be evaluating different strategies. Okay, say for example, I want to visit from my place to Malkapur, okay, where your college is located. Okay, so what it will do, it will explore all the possible paths. One may be through Karanja, the another one may be through, let's say, Murtiyapur or something else. And then it will give me the most optimal path in terms of toll, in terms of traffic condition, in terms of the road condition, and so on. So it will give you optimal result. Okay, that is tree of thought prompting. Prompt chaining in sequence, one after another, multi-step. Let's say if you are dealing with a very complex problem, you may use this prompt chaining. Okay. Now, Having said this, some basic prompting techniques, we need to understand what are the various parameters. Okay, this is again most of the time our usual complaint, that is whatever prompt you type, you are not getting the appropriate responses from the LLM. So there are certain things which you need to set appropriately. Okay, then and then you get the appropriate responses. So the very first parameter on those line is the value of the temperature. Right. Now, how to set it, that I will show you in the second session. But you need to know what is the normal range of value for this temperature. It is between 0 to 2. All right, 0 to 2. So if you keep it very small, let's say 0.0, you get more generic responses. If you want to increase the creativity, you need to increase the value of this parameter. So if you want more creative output, you need to make it either 1.5 or 1.7 or maybe 2.0, which is the highest. Right. So that can be done quite easily by simply manipulating this parameter, that is temperature. Right. Second is max token. Okay, as I have told you, that is licensing, everything is in terms of token. So the tokens are precious. Okay, definitely you need to use them very aptly, right? I'm sorry. So it defines the length of the response. Let's say I want the response wherein I do not want to use more than 10 or 20 or tokens. So I may restrict that by specifying this max token. Okay. Top P, how many potential words in the response you want? Let's say you want to write abstract, not more than 200 words. Okay. So in that case, you may set this top P to 200. So what it will do while generating the response, it will not cross that 200 words limit. Okay, so that can be done with the help of this top P. Then there is frequency penalty and presence penalty. If you want to avoid a redundant content in your responses, you may set the value of this frequency penalty and presence penalty. Okay, so that the redundant the contents will be overcome. Right. So having said this, we have seen certain prompting techniques. Okay, then we have talked about, you can say, certain parameters which we need to take care of. Again, please note that these parameters are not the all parameters, right? There are many, but these are few important parameters which we have touched upon. Then what is generative AI for research? Okay, so you may use the Gen AI tool for carrying out research. Okay, but up to what extent? Not for generation of ideas. Okay, you may use it for maybe literature survey, you may use it for some formatting or grammar correction and so on, but not for every other thing in the research domain, right? So different publishing houses. This is an extract of few of the, you can say, the popular publishing houses from science and technology. Okay, so they have got their own way of dealing with the use of these tools in research in particular. Let's say we are all from engineering background, so we have a IEEE mandates. So wherein it allows us to use these tools only for editing and grammar enhancement, not for anything else. So if you are using it for idea generation, it is strictly prohibited, right? It is strictly prohibited. It is not at all allowed, but you may use it for editing and grammar enhancement. English is a foreign language for us. So definitely we can use it for that purpose. Okay. But not for any other purpose, not for any other purpose. So this way different publishing houses have got their own guidelines in this regard. Okay. So you have to be very careful while dealing with all these tools. Okay. This is an again indicative list. Okay, not an exhaustive list with regard to these tools. Okay, few of these tools will definitely will have hands-on on few of them, like say consensus, maybe illicit, okay, research rabbit, Skyspace, and so on. And apart from these tools, I'll again show you certain tips, that is how to protect your privacy secrecy. Okay, because the biggest problem, as I said, the black box is one of the problem, but the another problem is that is your privacy secrecy is always at stake whenever you interact with these tools. Okay, so you have to be a little bit careful while dealing with these tools. Okay, and I think somewhere we have talked about the problem with this technology, that is the black box problem. So there is a solution to that black box problem. What they call it as the glass box approach or explainable AI or XAI, it is in short, it is referred to as. So what do we do in this case? We simply add up one additional box, or rather we convert that black box to a glass box. So glass box meaning thereby you can look through and you may come up with some justification how you are arriving at a particular answer. Okay, so broadly speaking, this explainable AI is nothing but the explanation, that is how you are arriving at a particular solution. Right now, there are many you can say the architecture, but the most popular one is what they call it as the line local interpretable model agnostic explanation. This is one of the popular XAI approach, and the second one is the SHAP, 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 that is shapely additive explanation. Right. So we were talking about privacy, security, so accountability. If you just try to recall, so there is a full-fledged framework which is coming up, what they call it as the FAT framework. So now people are working on these things. Okay, the generative AI or the generating answers. Okay, those stories are quite old. Let's say if you want to carry out some research in this area, okay, you need to come up with a solution which complies to this FAT framework. And what is this FAT framework? FAT framework is fairness, accountability, and transparency. Okay, as I said, in case of black box, you don't know what is happening within that box, and that is why we call it as a black box. So we are moving from that black box to a transparent box or a glass box. Okay, and these frameworks are referred to as FAT frameworks, right? FAT frameworks. So probably this is all from my end as far as the first session is concerned. Now, if you have any specific query, you can fire it now. मैंने कोशिश की कि भाई ये हम एक स्क्रैच से शुरू करके हम कहाँ तक जा सकते हैं, ठीक है।
बड़ा हेवी टॉपिक था हमारे लिए तो,
पर
मेरे लिए एटलीस्ट।
कोशिश
यंग
की सर, जितना जितना सिंप्लीफाई कर सकते हैं कोशिश की।
नहीं, यंग बच्चों के लिए बहुत अच्छा है। वी आर ऑल्सो यूजिंग एआई, बट इट इज जस्ट फॉर आवर ग्रामेटिकल, ये वो उसके लिए करते हैं अपन।
यस सर,
लेकिन फॉर अदर्स इट इज रियली वंडरफुल।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू,
यस।
थैंक यू सर। So we will take a break if you allow me to do so, maybe five minutes break, so that you may have your tea. I will again have my tea. If you have any question by that time, okay, you are welcome. Any one of you, yes. हेलो, आप में से कुछ पूछना चाहेंगे तो पूछ सकते हैं, या फिर सेकंड सेशन में हम मिल ही रहे हैं 5 मिनट में।
सर अभी इससे इन दिनों में जो रिसर्चर है
हाँ,
वो अपने जो एआई का यूज करते हैं, वो ज्यादा यूज कर रहे हैं रिसर्च पेपर राइटिंग वगैरह के लिए, तो कितने परसेंट इथिकल है? जैसे स्कोपस वगैरह जर्नल है तो उनको तो एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते, बट जनरली पीयर रिव्यूड पेपर जर्नल में तो पेपर एक्सेप्ट हो रहे हैं। यानी कुछ
क्या है
चीजें तो
सर
ऐसी
एक्चुअली।
देखी है कि
हाँ,
कुछ
बोलिए
चीजें तो
बोलिए।
ऐसी देखी कि पूरा का पूरा पेपर ही एआई से बनता है।
मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ सर, ये चैलेंजेस है और ये अनफॉर्चुनेट है एक्चुअली। इसका इस्तेमाल इस तरह से नहीं करना चाहिए अपन ने, ठीक है। ये बिल्कुल नहीं करना चाहिए। आप जो बोल रहे हैं ना कि चैट जीपीटी से आजकल अब शायरी भी हो रही है सर, आपने देखे होंगे बहुत सारे लोग पोएट्री भी कर रहे हैं। अपने को लगता है बंदा तो कल तक ठीक ठाक था, आज से क्रिएटिव कैसे बन गया। सो ठीक है, पीपल आर यूजिंग इट, है ना।
यस
सो
यस
यू गिव सम सैंपल, इट विल गिव यू, है ना। पोएट्री क्या है बेसिकली? बैलेंस है ना। वर्ड्स को आप बोलते हैं और एक रिदम में बोलते हैं ठीक है।
चलेगा
तो
चलेगा।
ये सब चीजें
ओके
हो
सर।
रही है, ये चैलेंजेस है सर हमारे लिए, आपके मेरे सभी के लिए है, ठीक है ना।
ओके।
तो इसका प्रयोग इस तरह से नहीं करना चाहिए, जैसा आपने कहा ना अभी कि भाई सर कुछ लोग पूरा
हम्म
पेपर ही लिख रहे हैं, दैट इज
हम्म
ना इथिकली नॉट एट ऑल करेक्ट, ठीक है ना।
ओके
लेकिन उसमें अगर
ओके।
कर रहे हैं लोग, तो अब मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ या आप क्या कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। सो वी डू नॉट हैव एनीथिंग इन आवर हैंड, बिकॉज एज ऑन डेट वी डू नॉट हैव एनी गाइडलाइन, है ना, इस रिगार्ड में। यूजीसी ने, एआईसीटी ने, या हमारी जो भी अपेक्स बॉडीज है, इन्होंने अभी तक ये इशू पे कुछ सीरियस पेपर्स अभी तक आए नहीं है, व्हाइट पेपर्स हमारे पास। तो एज लॉन्ग एज दैट इज नॉट देयर, वी कांट डू एनीथिंग, है ना, इतना ही कहूंगा मैं, ठीक
ओके
है।
सर, ओके सर।
हाँ,
तो
तो
विल टेक द
आपको,
2 मिनट।
यस सर, एक 5 मिनट दीजिए मुझे, मैं थोड़ा सा हल्की सी चाय पी लेता हूँ, ताकि थोड़ा सा गला नॉर्मल हो जाए, ठीक है।
यस सर, श्योर।
Yes, sir.
थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू, थैंक यू। एंड प्लीज डोंट गो अवे, क्योंकि आप जाओगे फिर ज्वाइन करोगे तो इट विल टेक अगेन टाइम, तो
No,
हम
no, no,
डायरेक्ट,
no.
हाँ, तो प्लीज आई रिक्वेस्ट
All
ऑल
of
ऑफ
you
यू
with
टू बी
us, sir.
देयर।
We'll see
या
you how you are taking the tea.
not an issue sir, not an issue, not an issue, all right. Welcome back. Uh, Sorry for keeping you on hold for 10 minutes, right? So, as I promised, that in the second session, we will have some hands-on on few of these tools, right? So, which you may adopt for your teaching, learning, evaluation, maybe for even research as well, right? So, we'll start with some basic tool, but before I move ahead with all those tools, okay, I would like to uh, speak on a few aspects of this technology. That is, as far as I am concerned, I personally feel that this is a sort of disruption which is happening. Okay, this disruption is happening. Okay, but at the same time, we need to understand that is there is no way out. Okay, you need to remember that is even if you do not want to use it, but your students are using it, right? So if your students are using it and you don't know, so it may happen that when it comes to actual assessment and so on, many times you give them good marks, but as a matter of fact, it is not being done by them, right? So we need to be little bit aware about all these tools, right? What is their functionality? How do they function? And as far as their adaptation is concerned, okay, if you are not crossing your ethical barriers, there is no problem in adapting to them. Okay, as Nitin Kharche sir has pointed out that people are using it for writing one complete research article. That is absolutely wrong. Okay, that is rubbish. But if you are using it for identifying the problem or analyzing, synthesizing paper, identifying your real literature in your domain, if you can save with things which you used to do months together or years together, if you can do it in hours, there's nothing wrong in that, right? So many times we used to approach our supervisor, sir, now you formulate the problem. Okay. What is wrong in taking help in formulation of the problem by using any LLM tool? So what I'm trying to emphasize is you need to define your own boundaries. Okay. And second important aspect which I wanted to share with you is you need to define your own boundaries. You need to be, I should say, very cautious while dealing with these tools, and you need to preserve your identity secrecy and so on, right? So if you do not do so, then definitely you will face problem. Okay, you may face problem. Okay, so this is the cautionary warning as far as the usage of these tools are concerned. So let us begin with a very basic tool. Okay, very fantastic and very basic tool, and which I personally feel that we must start using it for teaching learning. Okay, there is nothing wrong in that. Okay, so I hope my entire screen is visible to you. My entire screen is visible to you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay. Now I'm simply I'll take you to one important thing, that is what they call it as the notebook LM. Okay, notebook LM. For using this, you do not require anything other than your Gmail ID. Let's say, for example, right now I have logged in from my Gmail account. Simply go to this Google Apps. Okay, 9 dots. Simply browse through, and somewhere at the bottom you will find Notebook LM over there. Right. So simply click on this Notebook LM. Okay. Now this tool is available free of cost as on date. I hope my entire screen is visible to you.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Yeah. So this tool is available free of cost. Okay. And let us assume that you want to create. Now this can be used for teaching, learning, evaluation, and whatnot. I tell you. Right? It's a very fantastic tool, very basic tool provided by Google. Okay. And very powerful at the same time. Let us assume that you want to learn or you want to create a new notebook. So simply click on this create new. There are some ready-made templates again available. Okay. Or you can do so by simply clicking at this plus sign, that is create new book. Okay. So simply go to this create new notebook. All right. Moment you click on create new notebook, you will find something like this on your screen. Now there are various possibilities. So you need to specify what exactly you intend to learn. यानी आपको सीखना क्या है. So let's say you want to learn something and you have already downloaded some papers, okay, which is there on your desktop. So you want to learn all those papers. Okay, you want to understand those papers. Okay, so what you can do in that case, you can pick this particular option, upload files. Go to upload files, browse the, place the appropriate, you can say the folder, and simply upload those files. That is one way of doing it. Second is you may use this website option or even YouTube, right? Let's say something is there on YouTube, and from that YouTube video you want to learn, you may embed that with the help of this particular link. Okay. Let's say something is there on your drive, Google Drive, I mean to say, you may upload those files by using this drive option. Or let's say you have copied something on your this thing and you want to paste it. So you may use that copied text and paste it by using this option. Or let us assume that you do not want to do any one of these options. You have got a option for searching on the web. Okay. So here it is expected that you should write the appropriate prompt. Now you just give me a topic, okay, which you intend to search. Okay. You will just try to have a look at that particular topic itself. Any topic you would like to learn. Yes. Let us try something on AI itself. AI in, yes. Anything you would like to learn? Let us try cyber security. Okay. AI in cyber security. Okay. Recent trends. Okay. This is a vague topic I am giving. Okay. Then you need to hit this blue arrow. Okay. Moment you hit it, okay, you will find that there are three panels which will appear on your screen. On the left hand side, the sources are there. Okay. In between, you have got this chat functionality. Okay. And on the right hand side, we have got a studio functionality. Okay. Studio functionality. We will go one by one. Okay. So it has identified how many? Around 10 odd sources. Okay, this way you may add up to 50 sources, not more than 50. At present, it is allowing 50 sources in a single go. So right now it is showing me 3, okay, and it is saying 7 more. So what it has done, it has identified 10 odd sources in the area we intend to learn. Okay. So let's say you are satisfied with these sources. You can go through these sources by simply clicking on this view button, okay, and looking at a particular source. Okay, by simply this pressing here, okay, it will take you to that particular source. Okay, and then you may, let's say if you are satisfied with that particular source, you may include it for your learning purpose. Or you may include all of them on a single click by simply clicking on this import button. Let us assume that we are satisfied in terms of all these 10 sources. Let us presume, okay, and just click import. Okay, if you click import, what will happen? It will access all those 10 sources. Okay, it will access all those 10 sources. Okay, and it is being loaded. Okay, and what it is doing right now, it is in the central panel, it is showing me the chat functionality. Now I have got the opportunity to interact with all these 10 sources on a single go from this chat functionality panel. Okay. And as I was referring to, it not only, you can say, understand what exactly you intend to say, many times it generates on its own certain frequently asked questions. So based on these 10 sources, these many prompts it has generated on its own. That is, how does the EU AI Act regulate different risk level? What are the biggest cognitive threats predicted in 2026? Explain the benefits of AI power to zero trust infrastructure and so on. Let us try this. Okay. Now it is going through all those sources and carving the answers for you. Right. So this is what should I say? This is a somebody is saying fine lecture. Thank you. Right. Okay. So this is the answer which is being produced by this particular tool. Right. Now, this is the chat functionality. I'll not go into the details, but you can later on experiment with this. Okay. You may configure your notebook. There are many things. Right. I am showing you the basic functionality. All right. Now let us look at this studio functionality, which is there on your right hand side. Okay. Now you are undergoing this NEP 2020 orientation and sensitization. Right. We have adopted 3 language formula. Okay. Now language is not a barrier. Okay. And you want to teach this particular subject. Okay. The topic, whatever we have chosen in this case. Okay. In either Hindi or Marathi. All right. So it will create an audio. Okay, mind well, this is restricted to audio only. Video will be generated in English only. So it will create an audio that too in your local language, like say Marathi or Hindi, as on that these 2 languages are there. Okay, and apart from this, Gujarati, Bengali, again few more popular Indian languages are there. Some certain things from southern India is again there, right? Maybe Tamil and so on, right? So it will create a if you click on this let's say Hindi or Marathi and then click on this audio, okay, it will create an audio for you, and it will not be a ordinary audio, it will be a conversational audio. Okay, conversational audio, for example, is just like a podcast wherein one fellow will be asking something based on these 10 sources and the other fellow will be responding to those 10 sources. So the student can learn. Now you may ask, sir, what is the use of this audio? So audio can be downloaded. You may share it with your student community. Okay, and the student can listen to those audios while on the go. Okay, maybe traveling in bus. Okay, or in train or wherever. Right. So that audio functionality is there. Similarly, you may create a video. It is an explainer video based on those 10 sources. It will explain the concept, okay, in the form of a video. Okay, apart from that, it will create a mind map, which is typically needed for learning purposes. It will create a fantastic infograph. Okay, let us try these options. Okay, let's say you want to use it for evaluation purpose. So there is a facility called flashcard. Okay, it will create flashcard kind of a exercise or a quiz. Okay, all right. So right now I'm clicking on this. Okay, everything is being created. Okay, it has created this mind map. Let us look at the mind map. Okay, now this is the mind map which you may share with your student community. Okay, which will help them in learning, right? So this is a mind map. Okay, you may download it. Okay, you may share it with your student community on your LMS or whatever, right? So this is mind map. Then let us move ahead with infographic. It is being taken care of. Okay, now this is the flashcard, what I was referring to. Flashcard, it has generated. Now these are the flashcards. How many flashcards? Based on 9 sources, whatever sources we have identified. Now you may ask, sir, earlier we were having 10 sources, but one source is missing here. So please, you need to note one important aspect of this, that is whatever is available in public domain on open access forum, only those sources will be fetched. Say, for example, one paper which is there on IEEE Explore, wherein you require login credential, it will not access it. For example, it is showing some error, URL not found. Please check the URL and try again. Meaning thereby this PDF is there, but this portal requires some login credential. All right. So it will not access. It will access only those sources which are available on a public domain. Now, having said this, this is the flashcard kind of exercise. It has generated how many flashcards? 70, along with the answers and so on. Right. So by a single click, okay, you can do lot many things. Okay. Now this is the quiz. Okay, wherein it will generate a quiz of MCQ around 15 odd question along with the answer and hint. Okay, you may toggle between the next question by simply clicking on next, and so on. Right. So this is how the quiz is being generated. All right. Now let us move ahead. Okay. And this is now let us assume that you want to prepare a PowerPoint presentation based on these 10 sources. That is again possible, wherein we have got this slide deck functionality. Hello. Slide deck, if you click, it will create a PPT for you. Okay, most of the time it generates a PDF. Okay, but that is a PowerPoint presentation. We'll just try to have a look at it. Now, this is the infograph. Okay, you are organizing some event, some conference. Okay, if you upload the brochure, it will create an infograph. Okay, that infograph will be based on the sources, whatever has been identified by you. All right. So look at the graphics and the way in which it has been organized. Okay, it is truly professional. Right. So this is the infograph. All right. Now, yes. Daily, it has got certain limits. Probably I have crossed my daily limit. That's why it is saying this error. That is, you have reached your daily slides limit. Come back later or upgrade. Right. So slide deck, it will not do. Okay, it will not prepare, but other things are working fine. So I've shown you infograph, everything. Now, apart from this, there are very many things. Look at this reports. Okay. What you can do with the help of this report. You may create your own report. Okay, your own report, whatever exactly you intend to have in that report, that one has to write over there. Okay. Or otherwise, it will create these many reports by simple by a single click. Let's say briefing doc, जिसे हम notes बोलते हैं generally. Normally, we require this for teaching learning purpose. So you may click on this briefing doc. It will create a briefing doc for you. Study guide is there. Okay, blog post is there. Strategic transformation roadmap is there. Technical integration framework. Foundation concept guide, comparative analysis summary, and so on. Okay, let's say you are not satisfied with this ready-made template, you may create your own. Okay, so wherein again it has got support for some international languages, but for us probably Hindi is not there probably, but other popular international languages are there. Okay, so you may create it in those languages, and here you are supposed to write the prompt. Okay, exactly what you want, what kind of stuff you want in that report. Okay, that can be specified here. Okay, this is for the sake of example. Okay, you may write your own stuff here. Okay, so this is how you can create reports, right? Then you have got quiz. I think I have already shown you. Okay, an audio and video. So this is by default. If you do not pick any one of these languages, by default, the audio or video will be created in English. Okay, but again, this is a time-consuming process. Okay, it will take 3 to 4 minutes for the compilation. So this is a fantastic tool which you may adopt for teaching learning purposes. Right. Now, let's say if you have got any specific query with regard to this, you can fire it now. Otherwise, we will move ahead with some other tools. ठीक है, क्योंकि बाद में क्या होगा कि हम आगे बढ़ेंगे तो it's little bit difficult to come back once again, right? So you may share it with your student community by simply looking at this share link is there. Okay, wherein you need to provide the, you need to simply add the people to your notebook. It will be shared with them directly. Okay. So this is a notebook LM, and the backend it is using AI. Okay, backend it is using AI. All right. Is this okay? Shall we move ahead with the next tool?
Yes, sir.
Chaliye. So let us move ahead with another tool called. Let us assume that you want to analyze or synthesize research paper. Okay, analyze or synthesize research paper. Okay, so there is a tool called Elicit. Elicit.com. Right? So if you are a first time user, definitely you need to sign up. All right. If you are a first time user, definitely you need to sign up, or you may sign up using your Gmail credentials. Okay, most of these tools, they allow you to sign through your Gmail account. Okay, so, but my advice would be that is instead of signing in with your regular Gmail ID, it is better to sign in with a separate Gmail ID. You may create a separate Gmail ID for this purpose. Okay, because most of these tools, the beta version is available free of cost, but their pro version is paid. Okay, or it requires some subscription. So you may receive subscription email asking you to upgrade your plan or go for a subscription. Okay. So as to avoid this, you may create a separate Gmail ID, okay, for handling all these tools. All right. So let us move ahead with this elicit.com. As I said, it is used for analyzing or synthesizing research paper. Let us try something on these aspects. So AI in cyber security, let's say recent trends. Okay, and let us try something from Indian perspective. Okay, so this is what I intend to search. Let us say I want to formulate a problem, okay, and I want to search this particular domain, that is AI in cybersecurity and recent trends in India. This is my context. Okay, so let us hit this arrow. Okay, so what has happened? It has identified once again 10 odd papers in the domain. Okay, how many? 10. Okay, you may go beyond that, but by default it is okay. Now it is asking you to load more papers. So what is happening is on the left hand side, the title of the paper along with the year of publication, everything DOI, everything is appearing on the left hand side. Then you have a summary column over there. Okay, by default it will give you the executive summary of all these papers, so that by going through the summary you can very well decide whether it is the right paper or not. Okay, and let us assume that now I want to analyze all these 10 papers. Okay, I want to analyze or synthesize all these 10 papers. Okay, on some parameters. Okay, so you may do so by simply adding a column. So go to this edit column, add new. Okay, and let us assume that you intend to identify the research gaps. Okay, what is it? Research gaps. Okay, say add column. Now look at the left hand panel. Okay, as you can see, a new column is being added, research gap, and the stuff from all those paper is being populated. Now it is identifying research gaps in each and every paper. All right. So this way, in the demo version, or what we used to call it as a free version, okay, or beta version, you can have as many as 4 column, not more than 4 column. Okay. If you want more than 4 column, you need to either upgrade your plan, or the shortcut is you may delete few of the columns. Let's say you are done with the summary part, you may delete that column and create a space for the new columns. Right. Now it is giving me suggestions: AI technology application, benefits and effectiveness, outcome, challenges and risk, and whatnot. So this way you may add. Let's just try to add one more column. Okay, edit column, add new, and just try to look at the research methodology used by these papers. Okay, research methodology, and add a column. All right. Okay. So this is illicit. Right. This is illicit. I hope my entire screen is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is illicit. Now here you are not making compromises on ethical front or any other aspect, right? So you need to define your own boundaries, okay, as I said, okay. But for routine job, now you may simply realize, I don't know, you people have not faced that kind of a scenario. But when we did our PhD those days, okay, uh, the resources were not available, right? So we need to visit institute and then catch hold of the librarian and maybe Xerox copy all the papers, okay, in the photocopy or Xeroxing sections and so on. But now everything is on your fingertip. The only thing you need to have is the, you can say, the thirst to learn, okay. Rest all, you may use all these tools available at your disposal, right? So this is illicit. Let us go one step further. Okay. Okay. Let us assume that you want to find out the real literature in your domain. So there is a tool called researchrabbit.ai. All right. Researchrabbit.ai. Okay. So this tool will help you in carrying out literature survey, and that too quite effectively and extensively, right? Let's say if you have got certain papers which you have already gathered in a Zotero. Okay, Zotero, what is Zotero? Zotero is a free referencing tool. Okay, so if you have gathered some papers in the Zotero collection, you may fetch those papers directly by clicking on this link, Zotero. Okay, so you can directly fetch all those papers, okay, in the Zotero collection. Okay, otherwise you may write what exactly you intend to search for. AI in, let's say, cyber security Indian scenario. Okay. Search. This rabbit is searching for you. Now, some of you may argue, okay, sir, what is so special about this searching mechanism? This we can do with Google as well. So what is new in that? This approach is altogether different. It uses AI at the back end. Okay, now some of you may argue कि sir, now Google is again using it. Yes, Google is, now they have started using this. But if you look at the conventional way of Google searching, is it uses a page ranking algorithm, right? It uses a page ranking algorithm. So whereas these approaches, right, these tools, they are using, and they make your job very efficient and easy. Okay, say for example, if you look at the filters available here, okay, right now I'm showing you some of the filters. Okay, say let's say you are looking for a specific article or authors or references or maybe citation, okay, or specific keywords you can specify here. Let's say you want to search for only last 5 years, from 2020 to 2026. You may simply do so by publication date. Whether you are looking for quartile 1 general, quartile 2, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, okay, you may pick them based on this, okay, like say Q4, Q3, and so on. What about the H index and so on? Whether you are interested in looking at the retracted paper, you may do so by only retracted or exclude retracted, something like that, and simply hit the search button. So this entire criteria would be applied to that research. Sorry, search. Okay, it would be applied to that search. All right. Then, apart from that, it will help you in identifying your real literature. Okay, in many sense, that is some of the papers. Okay, this is my experience. Maybe it's not necessary all the time you will get it. Some of the papers you get here free of cost. Okay, many times. Okay, that is again there, but I should not claim that all the time you will be getting it, but that is again true. So apart from this, it will give you the connectivity between the papers, between the authors and so on. Okay, you can draw diagrams, okay, dependency diagrams, okay, and so on. Then there is another tool called as connected papers. Okay. This will again help you in identifying the real stuff in your domain, literature survey. Okay. So it will build graph as well. Okay, AI in cyber security, Indian context. And then simply say build graph. So it will build graph for you. Now you can see the graphs coming out. Yes, so there we are. As you can see, you may zoom them. Okay, now it is showing the connectivity between various authors. Say Chaudhary 2024, then Marida 2018, how their work is interconnected, interdependent with each other. So this will help you identifying the actual researcher working in your domain, right? So you may locate them quite easily with the help of these graphs, connected graph. Okay. Then it helps you in identifying the prior work. If you have selected a particular author, prior derivative of that particular author, that is again possible. You may apply various filters. Okay. Again, the filters are whether the PDFs are available and so on, right? So you may apply various filters here. Okay, code available, open access, and so on. Okay, na? So, and the more button is there. So graph versions, full screen, download. You may download these graphs as well. Okay, you may use it for your maybe literature survey writing purposes and so on. You can share it with your supervisor or maybe your research community. Okay, so this is connected papers. Okay, this is connected papers. Okay, just like Research Rabbit, connected paper is the another solution. Now let's move forward. I know I'm going a little fast, but the uh, reason behind this is to expose you to as many tools as possible. Okay. Now let us move to one important or interesting area of this technology, what they call it as agentic AI. Are you with me, first of all?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
चलिए, ठीक है. So I presume that all of you are connected. Okay. So let us explore one important component of this technology, what they call it as the agentic AI. Now let us assume that you want to create your agent, your own agent, okay, which will work 24/7 and it will carry out the task whatever you assign to it. Okay, so there is a platform called Zapier. Okay, Zapier is typically used for creating agents. All right. So definitely, once again, you need to sign up. Okay, create your own account, or maybe you may sign up using your Gmail credentials. Okay, once you sign in, you will find something like this on your screen. Your intention is to create a new agent. Okay, so simply click on this plus sign. Okay, click on this new agent. Okay, you will find something like this on your screen. Find something like this on your screen. So it has got some ready-made templates for agent creation. Okay, let us assume that I am running MMTC and I want to automate my participant queries response, okay, without any human intervention. So you may create a support email agent. Okay, this is the template for this. Okay, on the left hand side, we have got some templates. Okay, why we are not creating our own? Because our objective is to understand how do these, you can say the agent work, right? So support email agent. Okay, simply click on the support email agent. Okay, you will find the entire functionality along with the trigger, everything, okay, here, right? Now, if you look at the code, this is the code for this agent. Okay, what are our expectation? Support email agent, get AI to draft customer replies using your knowledge base. Now, in my knowledge base, what I can do, let's say in case of MMTC, I may add up my own program calendar for the year 25-26, and whatever queries are there, okay, the whatever emails are there asking for certain information on certain program, maybe the date of commencement of the program, okay, or rescheduling of a particular program, and so on. So those things can be addressed by using this agent. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to create this agent and run it. That is all. So let us assume that I am happy with the stuff, whatever has been written. Again, it is not written in any Java or any other language. It is written in English, the prompt, whatever we used to write. So when I get a new mail, look at the contents and determine if it is a question from a customer. In my case, it would be a participant. If it is a participant's question, look up the answer in use, then I need to specify the, what should I say? The calendar as the knowledge base. Okay. So let us assume that I am happy with the functionality, whatever has been defined in this particular template. So let us assume we will use it as it is. So use this template. Okay. Now I am giving access to my Gmail. I need to give permission, then and then it will work. Okay. So let's say create. All right. And then instruction to follow. In what way I am expecting that should respond. यहाँ पे हमने एक address दे दिया. Then knowledge source. This what I was referring to. Here I need to add up that knowledge, that PDF file or the Word file, whatever I have. So add a knowledge source. You need to upload some file, some stuff. So what it will do while crafting the answers to the participants or the customer, in this case, it will go through all those files, okay, whatever you have uploaded in the knowledge source, and it will utilize that knowledge for crafting the answers to them. Okay, so it comes with a lot of, you can say, the tools, okay, add-on tools, that is Google Sheet is there, Google Doc is there, Box is there, Notion is there, and so on. Zapier tables are again there. Let's say if you are having some Excel sheet kind of a thing, so you may insert Excel as well. Okay, SharePoint is there, Zendesk is there, and then so on. Even Zoom is there, right? So approximately 8,000 plus apps are being supported by this particular tool, right? So you may say then add a tool. Right now we are not having all these things, okay, at our disposal. So agent preview, and then simply say test agent. Okay, now I am invoking this agent. Once I invoke it, it will not stop till I ask it to. Okay, it will go on going through my inbox, looking at the mails and creating or crafting answers without any human intervention. Now, this way you may create a research assistant as well. Okay, you need to define, let's say you want to keep track of what is happening in your domain. You want to be aware. So what that agent will do, it will go through you can say the internet sources, and it will identify what is happening in the area in which you are working, whether some conferences are being organized or whether some events are happening somewhere in the world. So it will keep track of all those things. It will report to you, well, this is how the things are as far as your domain is concerned, right? So I will stop here with regard to this, that is Zapier, but I hope you must have understood the basic functionality. Okay. Say for example, I'll show you that is how this function. This one I have created earlier. Okay, so while crafting the email, you can define everything, that is be concise and clear, include relevant service information, email guidelines. These are the guidelines I am giving. Use professional tone and so on, right? So preview agent, now test agent. अब देखिए on demand. Okay. Now it is executing all those things on my behalf, right? So this is how this agentic AI works, right? This is how the agentic AI works, right? So this is Zapier. Any specific query you want to ask with regard to this, or shall I move ahead with some other tools? Right. Now let us move ahead with few more things. Okay. So Zapier, I think I have shown you just now. Let us try something on, you can say, you want to identify which particular tool is best for your purpose. Okay, so there is a platform called Open Router. Okay, there is a platform called Open Router. Don't forget to write AI. If you are searching in Google, okay, since I do have direct links, okay, URLs available here. Okay, I am using it in this particular manner. But let's say if you are searching for these tools, okay, don't forget to write AI. So Open Router AI, okay, this is the platform. Now what is it? Okay, I intend to identify which tool is best for my purpose. Okay, whatever is the activity I intend to carry out. So if you simply click on these models, okay, it will show you how many models are available as on date. So it has got how many models under one umbrella? 619 models under one roof. Okay. All right, 619 models under one umbrella, and the name of that platform is openrouter.ai. Right. Now, let's say I am searching for a specific functionality model. Okay, so you need to define the input modalities. Okay, let's say input modalities you want text, and output modalities you want image. Okay, so you will be giving input as the text and output as the image. So for this particular purpose, we have got how many models? 16 models, 16 model available here. Okay, under this roof. Okay. Then what else you can do? You can check for all these parameters, whatever we have talked about. That is the context length. Okay. Prompt pricing. Then you can say the supported parameters. Now, if you just try to recall, okay, in the earlier session, first session, we have talked about temperature. So here we are, okay, temperature, top P, okay, and more. Top P, top K, min P, top A, frequency penalty, presence penalty, max token, and so on. So you can play with all these parameters, okay, the way in which you want. Okay, let us look at this temperature. Okay, so you may do so by simply clicking on that. Now, having said this, you may compare the performance of these parameters, sorry, these tools. Okay, you may compare, just like, let's say you want to take a buying decision. Okay, so what do? Normally we compare. Okay, we compare two different products. So say, for example, right now I am having 5 model for this input text and output image modality. Okay, so I may chat with all of them under this umbrella using this chat functionality. Simply click on chat, go on adding the tools, and simply type your prompt. So whatever prompt you type, whatever models you have picked up, you can add models by simply clicking at this plus sign. Okay, you may take any one of them, whatever you feel appropriate. Right now I've selected this one. Okay, this is the second one. And then you go on typing your prompt. Okay, so you can chat with more than one model under one roof, and the name of that particular platform is Open Router. So what it will do, whatever prompt you type, it will generate the response. Okay, along with some concluding remarks. Okay, so that you can take a informed decision that which particular tool is best for your functionality. Okay, apart from this, it has got its own ranking mechanism. If you click on this rankings, okay, it will show you how many models are there, how they are ranked as on date, and this is dynamic. Say, for example, tomorrow if you log in, you will find some other values over here, right? So this is up to 26 January, okay, by is December, then 26 January, and so on. This week, okay. So this is Gemini 3, okay, Gemini 3 Flash. This is the LLM leaderboard. Okay, let us try to explore this Gemini 3. If you click on Gemini 3, it will show you that is how this particular model has been ranked. Okay, for healthcare, it is #1, finance, it is 1, technology, it is 2, legal aspect, it is 2, academia, it is 2, and so on. Now you may chat with this. Okay, you can look at the providers. Okay, it is available from whom. Okay, their performance, right? That is the latency, throughput, and so on. And what are the various applications available? Okay, so you have kilo code under this, and so on. Okay, what is their uptime, activity, and so on. So it is being monitored by this particular Open Router platform, right? So this is a very fantastic platform, but it will be available for only few things, okay, in the initial run. Okay, otherwise, once your free credits are expired, you need to add credits. Okay, now how credits can be added? By simply giving maybe $5 or $10, you may earn certain credits, and again you can play with this. Okay, initially it is available for free of cost for few runs. Okay, but it is not lifetime free. Okay, if you use it extensively, definitely it will ask you to upgrade your plan. So these credits you may earn. Okay, right now it is add card and then go on adding the credits, and it will be a usage based kind of a thing. Okay, so you may see the usage and so on, add a payment method. So it will be billed to your UPI or maybe net banking account, right? So this is open router. Anything you'd like to ask with regard to open router, right? Now let us move ahead with few more aspects. If you just try to recall, I think somewhere I've talked about that is how to safeguard your privacy and secrecy, right? Because most of the time, whenever you interact with these tools, they are vulnerable in terms of your privacy and secrecy, right? They are vulnerable in terms of your privacy and secrecy. So let us suppose you do not want to compromise your privacy or secrecy, and still you want to use these tools. So there are solutions available. Okay, we will not talk many, but at least two solutions I will tell you. One of the solution is what they call it as the LM Studio framework. So you need to simply search LM Studio free download. Okay, LM Studio free download. Okay, this is the very first link. All right. Let's say you are using Windows. Okay, so you can pick up Windows and so on, and then you may download it for Windows. Once you download it, okay, what will happen? It will, hello, I hope we are connected.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So once you download it, double click it and install it on your machine. Okay, don't try it on your mobile. Okay, it will not work. Okay, it's not, most of the time our expectations are everything should work on the mobile phone, but that is not the case all the time. Okay, this is one of the very resource hungry tool. It is basically a framework within which you can populate a number of tools, free and open source tools, right? So the beauty of this framework is once you download it, install it, then what next you need to do is you need to populate it with some free and open source LLM models. Okay. Again, those models are freely available. You download it, install it within this framework, and then you may interact through this framework with those models. Okay. And once you have downloaded, you don't require any internet connectivity. I hope you are getting me, right? Once you have downloaded the framework along with the models, okay, from that point onwards, you are safe. That is, you get the entire functionality of all those model, okay, on your desktop. Okay, so I'll show you exactly that is how these this LM Studio works. Okay, but the problem is it is a resource hungry tool, meaning thereby you have to have i7 processor with sufficient amount of RAM and hard disk. Okay, if it is not, then definitely you may face problem. Okay, so let us, I have installed it on my laptop or desktop, let's say. Okay, so this is my LM Studio. I am running it right now. And again, for installation, there is no rocket science involved. Double click, it will ask you few basic questions with regard to your name, email ID, maybe organization, something like that. Click next, 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 and install it. Okay. Then you need to populate it with some free and open source large language models or LLMs. Okay. In my case, I have added here two models. Okay, this is how the layout looks like. Okay, now you may pick anyone. As I said, you may download more than one. Okay, right now what I did basically, I have downloaded these two, Llama 3.2 1B instruct and Gamma 2. All right. So you may invoke any one of them. So if you want to invoke, let's say Gamma, simply place the cursor there and hit the key. Okay, now it is being loaded. Okay, it is being loaded. Now this is the progress bar. Okay, and this is the chat functionality. Okay, now here you may chat with this. So whatever prompt you type and whatever responses you are getting, those will be saved. I hope you are getting me. That is, in case of ChatGPT or any LLM model, when you interact in an online mode, there is every possibility that you are compromising on your personal or secrecy front, right? So if you want to safeguard from those things, this is the solution, right? LM Studio, right? Now, whatever prompt I type, whatever responses I am getting, okay, I may save them in the folder or whatever I feel like, okay? So let's say if you want to carry out some work wherein you require a lot of confidentiality or you do not want to share it with anybody, you may use this LM Studio. Done? Okay. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
I hope,
Yes.
yes. I hope
Yes.
we are connected. I know this session is going
Yes,
little
sir.
bit long, but we have got still 20-25 minutes. Anyway, so this is one of them, LM Studio. Now let us move ahead with one more similar tool. Okay, the another similar tool is Olama. Okay, for Olama, once again, what you need to do is download Olama. Okay, and install it on your machine. Once again, very resource hungry. Okay, minimum i7 and good amount of primary memory and hard disk space is needed. Okay, so go to this Olama, okay, which I have installed on my, okay, so Olama, I'm right now invoking it. Okay, now Olama is being executed. All right, so this is Olama. Once again, you need to populate it with some models. Okay, right now I have downloaded only one model and that model is being loaded. As you can see here, it is Llama 3.2. Okay, let's say I want to add a few more models. Simply click on this. Okay, you will find a model name and a download button. All right, so download it. Once you have downloaded, again, no need of any internet connectivity. Work in a private mode. Okay, incognito. Right, so you are safe. You are safe. You are not vulnerable in terms of you can say your API keys or the prompt you are typing or the responses which are being generated by that particular tool. Done? Right?
Yes, sir.
Now, chali. Now let us move ahead. Okay, let us move ahead with a few more things. Okay, you wish to record. Let us assume that you wish to record the entire proceeding of this particular session. Okay, you want to attend along with your stenotypist or a assistant, right, who will take note of the entire session. Okay, so there are solutions available like Granola. What Granola will do for you, it will take, or rather it will transcribe the entire meeting. Okay, once again, Granola you need to download, install and share your meeting IDs with it. It will automatically join along with you. Let's say you are joining and along with you that your assistant is joining, which is Granola, right? And it will take the entire proceedings, okay? Every minute will be recorded in text form, okay? That is Granola. On the similar line, you have products like say Otter, okay, Otter.ai. है ना, सबको आपको AI लगाना जरूरी है, वोटर AI. So voter AI will again work in the similar manner. Okay, it will take the entire meeting will be transcribed. Okay, along with the name and the speaker, whatever has happened in that meeting. Okay, now these tools are being used by most of the centers. Okay, for the transcription purpose. So this voter is again a widely used application, right? But again, it is free for a limited period. That is, maybe it will record up to 30 minutes, and beyond 30 minutes, it will ask you. I'm sorry. It will ask you to upgrade your plan. Okay. But few runs you may try, Otter or maybe the Granular, wherein the Granular is little bit good. Okay. Now let us try to conclude our session with one important aspect. Okay. One complete area of this AI is what they call it as the robotic process automation, or RPA. Okay, so what is RPA basically? Let us assume that you are from mechanical engineering or other discipline. You don't know ABC of programming, but you are very creative in terms of ideas. Okay, and you want to develop your own project without writing a single line of code. Is it possible? The answer is yes. And we will be discussing the solutions. So there is one complete category of tool available under this RPA, that is robotic process automation category, wherein you may automate any process, any damn process, I tell you, okay, quite easily without writing a single line of a code. Okay, so as the name suggests, robotic stands for an entity which has the capability to mimic human behavior. Now we are taking a round. Okay, we have started with, that was the very first statement of my dot 2 o'clock when we met first time, right? So I said mimicking human behavior. So robotic, mimicking human behavior, an entity which has, so RPA, robotic. What is a process? It is a sequence of steps that lead to a, you can say, a meaningful activity or task. And what is automation? Doing task without human intervention or automatically, right? So how do we find this idea? Okay, so the idea is really fantastic, but as I said, these category of tools are available only for commercial purposes, right? So there are basically 5 major players in this domain. The very first one is Blue Prism. Second is UiPath. Third is Pega. Fourth one is Work Fusion. And the fifth one is Automation Anywhere. So these are the 5 popularly known tools available under this RPA category. Okay. None of them, they are free, but okay, there has to be some, right? Otherwise, there is no fun in discussing this, right? So there is one tool which provides you what they call it as community edition free of cost. And the name of that tool is UiPath Community Edition. So this UiPath Community Edition, you can download. Simply search for UiPath Community Edition free download in Google. Okay, go to very first link. It will ask you to create an account, and then the download link will appear. So you may download it. Again, very resource hungry. i7 processor with good amount of RAM and sufficient amount of hard disk is needed. Install it and then run it. Okay, I'll be showing you the demonstration. That is how to play with this tool. Okay, with some simple basic project. right? So let us move ahead. This is my UiPath Studio, Community Edition Studio. I'm simply loading it. This okay? So as you can see here on the left hand side, let's say if you have already developed, you may pick up this open option and so on. Then there are numerous tools available, just like any other tool. We have got templates here, okay, for certain jobs, routine job. You may use some template or you may modify them as per your own need. Okay. On the right hand side, we have got this process, library, test automation, once again, template. These are the new from templates. Okay, wherein you may even generate test cases on mobile. Okay, mobile testing is again possible. Okay, then robotic enterprise framework, as I said, that is, it is a full-fledged tool. Okay, SAP testing project, task and whatnot. Okay, will not go into the details, but I'll show you the basic functionality so that you can feel the heat, right? So simply click. This is the project which I have developed. That is my first project. Okay, I am loading my first project. Okay, by simply clicking on that. Okay, moment I double click on that, what has happened? On the left hand side, I have got this Explorer, wherein I have got various, you can say, the entities available. So what I need to do is I need to simply identify one entity based on the functionality I am looking for, and simply drag and drop those entities to this main portion, okay, which is the workspace. Okay, which is the workspace. So what I did basically, I have identified three things. The very first one is the sequence. This I have dragged and dropped. Name of the sequence is Atik. Okay, just for the sake of identification purpose. Then I have gone for a input dialog and a message box. So what is the objective of this project? Objective is to prompt the user, asking him or her to input his or her name, and then some appropriate welcome message is to be displayed. Okay, that is welcome to this session, right? Even though we are about to close our session, but at the end I am welcoming you for this session. All right. So let us run this. So what I did, I have not written a single program, single line, or even no need to touch the keyboard. Simply drag and drop. Okay, sequence, input dialog, and message box. Now let us run it. Okay, so this blue arrow is there. That is debug file F6. Click on this. Now it is being executed. Is being executed. Now what is happening? Same thing. Whatever is my expectation. That is, what is your name? Let's say Muhammad Afiq. And what is my expectation? That it must give me some welcome to the session message, something like that. Right. So now this is a very small, you can say, the project which I have shown you just now. What you can do, if you look at this menu, you will find that you may develop app oblique web recorder directly live. Okay, if you feel like recording the live data from any website, that is again possible. You may extract, if the websites are allowing to do so. Definitely that is within the control of the, let's say I want to catch hold of Sensex data from Yahoo Finance. Okay, earlier it was available free of cost, but I don't know, they have started, I think I came to know that they have started charging for that. So I may extract the data, live data, Okay, whenever the market is on. Okay, and I may develop a small application for taking decision whether to buy, sell, or hold a particular script, right? So those kind of thing you can do it quite easily. Then it has got some UI Explorer as well. Okay, you may publish your automation process to the world community. Okay, so it has got lot many things, I tell you. Okay, then there are numerous packages available at your disposal, which you may utilize for developing some fantastic project. So what you need to do is you have to have idea. Okay, if you are clear about your idea, okay, there are tools. There are millions of tools available, right? So you may use them for your development purpose. So with this note, I think probably 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes are there. Okay, so this is all from my end. But before I end up, I would love to know from you, that is, if there are any specific query, okay, you can fire it now. Sir.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, do you think AI literacy is becoming harmful as how can we draw the line between misuse of AI in students as well as faculty members?
I think I have already addressed this concern, okay, wherein I have told you that you need to define your own boundaries. Okay, there are always two sides of a coin. Okay, AI is not the exception in that case. Okay, definitely it is killing our creativity, it is killing our, you can say, the thinking abilities. Okay, and I think I have already told you that there are some developed nations wherein the use of these tools is banned. Okay, but as long as you are not compromising on any ethical front, okay, for routine job, you may use them. As I said, notebook LM. There's nothing wrong in using that tool, right? There's nothing, not at all. I don't think that there is anything wrong. Okay, you are committing any mistake if you are making use of that tool for teaching learning purpose. But let's say if you are using it for idea generation, that is absolutely right. Rubbish idea, right? One should not use it for that purpose. Idea generation or creating complete article using these tools is not at all uh, expected, right? So we have to set our own boundaries. Okay, again, that is very true. Yes, that is very true in terms of other thing as well. Okay, the world is full of right and wrong, right?
Yes,
So
yes, exactly.
yeah. So the only thing is that you have to take utmost care. And again, over reliant on these tools is again very dangerous. If you look at the accuracy or efficiency of these tools, that is again there are problems. Okay, so I hope that you must be aware about that you cannot rely on these tools not more than 70 to 80%. Okay, so 30% is a big number. So still it is in a developing stage. Then again, I think I have talked about all gray areas wherein I have touched upon black box, which is again uh, very problematic thing with regard to these tools. Right. I hope I have answered your query, ma'am. Chaudhary, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Sir, I want to ask question. Can we use this for our to do the literature review? That is
Yes,
basic
definitely.
fundamentals.
Definitely, definitely. It will save your time and energy, sir. There is nothing wrong in that.
Okay. And for doing the literature review, we have to arrange whatever the research paper we read. At the time of we preparing the reports, we want to collect all that data for our report purpose. So how to manage, sir, that things?
No, you can download even, see, as I said, some of the papers which are not available from other platforms. This is my experience, okay? I should not say with 100% surety that all the time you will face this kind of a scenario. But few of them which are otherwise not available, they are available through these tools as well. Okay, there are again complete set of tools available for searching and carrying out literature survey, but that will require one complete session, sir. You know,
Okay,
but there is nothing wrong in using it for literature survey. Even
Okay.
analysis, synthesis, whatever I have told you, that is illicit. There's nothing wrong in that. There's
Okay.
nothing in wrong.
Thank you, sir.
जी, जी. So I think Dr. Nitin Kharche sir is there.
Yes, sir.
जी.
I'm here.
Waiting whether we need to take some feedback or that is
Yes, sir. We
again,
will take the feedback session.
and principal sir is
So
again there.
Yes, I'm there.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, in fact, this online program of
Yes, sir.
Wednesdays was really highly informative and well structured.
Thank you, sir.
At the outset, I appreciate the efforts of organizing team. And at the same time, I am really thankful to UGC, MMTC, Sant Gadgeva Amravati University for giving us this opportunity to conduct such types of FDP at our level. I request you again, sir, that in future also, please permit us to conduct such types of programs.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
And at personal level, I request you to take this AI tool, which you delivered us in 3 hours, especially for 3 days, and that
Not
to
an
be,
issue, sir. Not.
and that to be in offline mode.
Offline mode. That is, yes, sir.
वही तो मजा आएगा सर इसमें समझ
समझ रहा हूँ सर मैं, और
हाँ।
एक्चुअली अभी प्रॉब्लम क्या हो गया सर, पोस्ट कोविड सिनेरियो,
Yes.
नाउ द पीपल आर रिलक्टेंट टू जॉइन इन ऑफलाइन मोड.
नहीं, लेकिन सर मेरा स्टाफ 100%
बिल्कुल.
रहेगा आपके साथ,
पक्का पक्का सर,
और
कभी भी आप बुलाएं.
100% संडे को तो आप तो सैटरडे संडे तो आप निकाल सकते हैं,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर,
तो हम
बिल्कुल आएंगे.
लोग सैटरडे संडे फुल वर्क करेंगे और
सर,
आपके साथ करेंगे तो हमको कुछ दिमाग में आएगा.
बिल्कुल सर, मुझे भी मजा आएगा आप लोगों से मिलके.
Yes, yes.
Definitely we will have some offline session.
Yes, we will ask other colleges also to join with us.
No
क्योंकि
problem.
हमारे यहाँ पे भी दूसरे आसपास के कॉलेजेस हैं, वो भी आ जाएंगे.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
So number will be more.
Yes,
And we will ऑफलाइन में बड़ा मजा आता है सर. इसमें अभी मैं
बिल्कुल
देख
बिल्कुल
रहा हूँ कि मैं थोड़ा डिस्कनेक्ट हो रहा था कभी, तो
जी.
थोड़ा नहीं आ.
जी. बिल्कुल करेंगे.
एक्चुअली बहुत ही मजा आया सर. मैं
Thank you, sir.
हर
Thank you.
दिन अटेंड किया ये प्रोग्राम,
अब बाप रे.
राइट फ्रॉम मराठे सर, कुशवाहा साहब, थॉमस,
Yes.
अलीगढ़ के एक सर थे,
Yes sir.
वैष्णो देवी के थे,
Yes sir.
सबका बड़ा मजा आया. And really this program enhanced understanding of curriculum reforms,
Yes.
academic flexibility also,
Yes.
and governance aspect under NEP 2020. Overall, it was a valuable learning experience and beneficial for our academic leaders and faculty members. So at the outset, again, I'm thankful to all this organizing team, resource person, for conducting such a meaningful and impactful program. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please.
Sir, I am Professor Ramakant Chaudhary.
Okay.
Sir, we sincerely express the heartfelt gratitude for the Malviya mission. And this session is a valuable clarity on the vision, objective, transformative reform proposed under the NEP 2020. And the expert interactive discussion, practical, and the lastly, mostly your session, that is the regarding the research work. It is a very interactive session. And in this session, the most important point, that is the main tool is the research rabbit tools. The new researcher, it is a very useful tool for to learning and preparation the literature review. And sir, I suggest one more tool regarding the same, the dimensional AI. That is the same tool regarding the preparation of new literature table or survey of the outside of the country for the different domain. So I am again very thankful to organizing such a nice program. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any one of the head of department from our institute? One feedback expected. Sudesh sir, are you there?
Sudesh Farpad, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm here. Okay, I am Sudesh Parbat, head of the department Computer Science and Engineering. So, sir, during all the sessions, we are just noted down all the things what are the that is resource person shared with us, and it is very much important for our teaching learning process also, and for the implementation of NEP. And so today's session is so practical session because that is the use of AI in teaching learning. So that is the need of today's education. So it is very important. So this is from my side. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, sir. With your permission, shall we conclude today's session?
Yes.
With
Please.
my feedback.
Oh, that's great. Please go
माइक
ahead.
नहीं छोड़ रहा नितिन भी.
Please go ahead.
Okay, it's great pleasure to share a few words of the feedback on the Malware Mission Teachers Training Program, which has been highly enriching and memorable experience for all of us, our faculties also. This training was truly special, not because of quality of academic session, but also remarkable way it was organized in a very short span of time with your help also. I would like to express our special and heartfelt thanks to you, whose guidance, encouragement, and constant support made us possible to organize such type of training within just 24 hours.
It
So
was
I
a
would like
record
to
time, sir. Nitin Karche, sir. For me, again, it was within record time. Okay. Because and it worked out. Okay. Credit goes to you along with your principal and the entire management of your institution, right? That shows
yes,
the real spirit of learning. Okay. Please go ahead.
yes. Okay. So I would like to convey our sincere gratitude to our respected Honorable Principal Dr. A.W. Karche sir for granting the permission and extending our full support to organize this program. His trust and encouragement played during the crucial role is successful conduct of this event. Actually, sir, from the start of first session, observing the attendance of the staff so that maximum staff can attend. Many times our lectures also get adjusted for attending this session. And possibly up to 100 participants are for every session. 100 participants are there. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, one and all. I hope you have enjoyed all the sessions.
Yes.
And
Yes,
definitely, sir.
Yes,
as
sir.
Principal sir has said, and Nitin Karche sir has rightly pointed out, that is teamwork works, and this is the real demonstration of that activity. So hopefully we will again have some collaborative activities.
Yes.
Okay, wherein we will definitely, there is always scope for. But I wanted to know some feedback, real feedback. So even if it is not possible in this online mode, formal mode, informally, if you can give me some feedback wherein we can
नहीं
improve
सर,
upon.
बेसिकली बता रहे बहुत ही मजा आ गया सर.
चलिए सर,
हर
थैंक यू
सेशन
सर.
में
Thank
और
you.
कुछ न कुछ अपने को सीखने को मिला सर. वही बता रहा कहीं उधर से अलीगढ़, कहीं जम्मू कश्मीर, मतलब इट्स नॉट अ जोक. तो मिलते नहीं थे ना सर. अगर
Yes, sir.
ऑफलाइन बुलाते तो अपने आते भी नहीं थे.
नहीं आते नहीं.
पॉसिबल ही नहीं था. और इतना फंड्स नहीं ले सकते थे अपन.
Points नहीं है सर. Yes. चलिए सर, thank you once again.
Yes,
And
sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So I'll take your leave
Yes, Mouse.
Okay, so
Thank
Yes,
thank
sir.
you
Yes,
everyone.
thank
We
you,
will
sir.
stop here. Little bit instruction is there. We have shared the feedback link in our group. You can please fill that feedback because without filling the feedback, we cannot fetch your data through the portal. And after fetching the data, we will issue the certificates of program certificate accordingly to the course coordinator. Okay, and it will take 2 to 3 days. So I will request all the participants kindly fill the feedback as soon as early as possible. Thank you, everyone. We will stop
you,
now.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Ankit sir, to you also.